Yo, 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 guys. What up, what up, what up? I see you, everybody who's waiting in the chat. Daniel and Donkey Eater, what's up, boys? Happy to see you waiting for me in the chat. Going live tonight. Figure, there's so many Giants rumors and news going on. We did an episode earlier today reacting to Bobby Okereke getting cut, but there's so much else going on. And so I figured I'll just go live and just kind of casually stream here and talk with you guys in the chat. If you want me to give my takes or opinions on any specific rumors, or if you have any questions, or you have any mock trades, mock drafts, whatever, I figure I'll just play some Madden and we'll talk about it. So free agency a week away. I think free agency deals are officially signed next week on Wednesday, so 1 week from today. And Monday, I believe, is when the legal tampering period begins. So all those deals are going to start becoming agreed to on Monday morning, and we're going to be having a lot of fun. But before Monday, trades are going to happen. Giants almost traded for Trent McDuffie. It was really funny. The Trent McDuffie trade happened while we were live recording earlier today about Bobby Okereke. And I said to Alex, hey, this is not Giants news, but what's your take on Trent McDuffie to the Rams? Well, it ended up being Giants news. The Giants were apparently one of the two teams that were close to trading for McDuffie, other one being the Rams who pulled the deal off. So that was interesting news to me. But my main takeaway from that is a couple of things. Number one, the Giants are big name hunting. They're trying to make a splash this offseason. Number two, they recognize they really badly need a cornerback. So they're going to go ahead and get a big time CB1 in the building, I think, this offseason. So a lot to discuss. And like I said, guys, you just drop your questions, thoughts, comments, concerns, rumors, mock drafts, mock trades, everything down below. Tell me who you want them to sign. Tell me who you don't want them to sign. And I'm going to play some Madden, and we're just going to kind of chat back and forth and discuss. So, I'm going to fire the Madden up in a second, but let me first say what's up to everybody in the chat. Like I already said, hi to Daniel, but let me read your comment. I bring it every time. Just want to say thank you for the content that we put out. Appreciate if you guys would do play-by-play for every game. Daniel, really do appreciate you. Thanks for showing up. And I want to do more play-by-play. We did a few play-by-plays last year. We need to do more. I fully recognize that and agree with that. It's just a little bit tough because, we run all these pages and we've got the website and we've got the channel. So sometimes we get a little busy on game days, but next year I'm going to make sure that we've got a team in place so that I can just do the play-by-play and live react to the game. So I got you. I appreciate you. And I'm going to do the play-by-plays next year. But if you don't like my play-by-plays, I agree with Donkey Eater. Definitely go watch Bad Dog and The Entertainer. Those are my boys. I do Giants Collective with them every Tuesday and Thursday night. I'll be live with them tomorrow night on the Giants Collective channel. Definitely tune into that. On Giants Collective, it's longer. It's over an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. So you can get a bunch of my takes in long form. You can hear me talk about a whole bunch of stuff. And we just have a lot more topics that we go through. So, you guys can definitely check that out and hear a whole lot more. All right, let me get a couple more of these in the chat, and then I'll pull up the Madden, and we'll start rebuilding. What's the one move I want to happen this offseason if I had to choose one? My one would be Sonny Styles, man. I think that guy might be a genuine perennial All-Pro. So I really like Sonny Styles. I don't play Arc Raiders. I don't play a ton of video games. I play some Madden, and I play some FIFA. Batman Arkham games are my shit. I love those games. I got a few games I play, but not a ton. We'll talk about Kenneth Walker in a second. Let me say what's up. Goat is on Madden. Yeah, let's fire up the Madden. And like I said, don't worry too much about the Madden that's on the screen. You can if you want. We can interact together about it and do this rebuild together. But I want you guys to definitely feel free asking me whatever you want about the Giants and discussing, of course, just any rumors, news, and everything that we've heard so far. So let me make sure I can still see the chat. I guess online is the way to do it, right? Ashy Knuckles, I'll probably run a 3-4 in the rebuild to keep it realistic. The Giants are going to be running a 3-4 this season with Denard Wilson. What's up, Wise Geezer? Good to see you. Yes, Giovanni Martin, there was indeed a rumor about the Giants trading for Fred Warner, but it was more so speculation on the part of Art Stapleton. Guys, I'll say this right now. I would give up my pinky toe to get Fred Warner on the New York Giants. I love Fred Warner. I think he's an incredible talent. I would absolutely love to have him on the team. But I don't know if he's necessarily a legitimate trade candidate that the Giants are looking at. I think Art Stapleton was more so seeing the rumors online. I saw Ricky Scoops, who many of you know if you're on Twitter a lot like me. I am chronically online. So if you're chronically online like me, you definitely saw that Ricky Scoops said the Giants are trading for a linebacker. So now the speculation is, well, who could that linebacker be, especially after they just tried to trade for Trent McDuffie? Maybe they're going for an all-pro. And so then that leads you to believe, okay, what about Fred Warner? He's similar to Sonny Styles. What if they want to go ahead and get Sonny Styles? That's kind of the line of thought. So I don't think there's anything concrete with Fred Warner, but I'll say this. Somebody I spoke to who speaks to people said they did call the 49ers. Take that with a grain of salt, but it's what I heard. So I'm putting in the playbooks here. Chiefs and Titans because of Matt Nagy and, of course, because of Denard Wilson as the DC. I'm not going to change the appearance of the coach because I don't care enough to do all that, but we're just going to roll with John Harbaugh, Chiefs and Titans, and go from here. How does everybody feel about that? Let me pull up the super chat, though, real quick from Sam. Sam saying, am I going to rebuild with the cap or without the cap? And I accidentally just covered my face here. I got to find a better layout, I suppose, don't I? Bear with me for a second. Okay, I think that works. We're going to rebuild with the cap, but I will say that the Madden cap is not entirely accurate. So let's get this thing going. What do you consider a successful season in 2026? Keith asks. Playoffs. I think in a different scenario, I don't know. I mean, staff points unlocked. Okay, cool. In a different scenario, I would say like 7 or 8 wins would be a successful season for this Giants team. But because John Harbaugh set such a clear expectation when he was hired of making the playoffs, that's what a successful season is. It's the playoffs now. So that's my take on it. I got to see this New York Giants team compete for the playoffs. They at least need to be playing competitive football in December. I think this division is wide open too. I don't believe in Washington's old-ass team. I think the Cowboys are a mess. I think that they're like a ticking time bomb. And I think the same thing of the Eagles. So I think this division's kind of wide open for the Giants. Trade Russell Wilson for Rashid Shaheed. What's up, Evan? Stephen RC, longtime viewer. We will explore the Fred Warner trade on here. Yeah, Marte, I'm doing a realistic one. It is tough to do. I do these rebuilds on Madden like all the time, and they are so unrealistic because the cap isn't proper and stuff like that, but whatever. My boy Brian Burns. Guys, if you didn't know, I actually do a podcast with Brian Burns' brother, Stanley McClover. Lucci is what we call him. Go check that out for sure. It's called the Saccess Podcast, like success, but sacks. We just talk about defensive linemen, great pass rushers like Brian Burns. Check that out if you haven't seen it. We need an international Fireside meetup. I almost met up with, I think it was SPP Williams or some other viewer, like loyal, oftentimes viewer of the channel when I was in England this past year, but I didn't make it work. I missed the message. But yeah, I'll definitely want to do something at some point. And I think we're going to do a meetup. Well, we were going to do one for training camp, and now training camp is in West Virginia. Is anybody going to that, guys? Are you guys going to West Virginia for training camp? Are they even going to have tickets for that? I don't know. I really don't know how it's going to work. Riley, I saw that Jonathan Allen cut. Definitely put him on your short list for the New York Giants. Yeah, Mr. Chrisman. I am planning on going to the Rams-Giants game in LA. That's the plan. We'll see. I got to see when it is and what's going on, but I really want to go to that game. Super Med, we'll asking Anthony, will we ever see you on ESPN one day? I actually years and years ago, I'll see you there, Mr. Chrisman. Years and years ago, before Fireside Giants kind of got off the ground, I actually did a radio spot on ESPN New Orleans, I think it was. It was before the draft with Isaiah Simmons, and they were pretty much just asking me my take. It was a mock draft thing, so they were asking me to make the pick for the Giants. I think I took Isaiah Simmons. I might have taken Jedrick Wills, though. Jedrick Wills was my guy in that draft, and he sucked. So evaluating offensive tackles is hard, is the moral of that story. But no, I don't know if you'll ever see me on ESPN. I love doing what I do here, and I think I'm more of a I love doing the Giants content creation. I want to do it forever, but I'm also very into business, and I've been helping Alex build ESM for 8 years, and so we built a business together, and so I think that's really where my future and my career is gonna be. So I don't know if that's gonna put me on ESPN at any point. Kayvon and plus 2027 first NYGFL. Are you referring to a trade? What trade? And yeah, Lucas, I saw that the Rams-Giants game nearly in Australia. We'll see. Joe wants me to trade for Fred Warner and draft Sonny Styles. I just might do that. So, okay, let's dive into this rebuild. First and foremost, I guess we got a sim, right? Got to go to staff week and then get to the re-signing. Appreciate you, Super Med. All right, so this is where we do the negotiations. So off the bat, I went back and forth over the last couple of years not a couple of years, over the last couple of months about Wan'Dale Robinson. At one point, I was vehemently against re-signing him. Then I was all for re-signing him. And now I've gone full circle, and I'm back to no longer wanting to re-sign Wan'Dale Robinson. I think when you look at the market for him at $21 million a season, this is what I was breaking down on Giants Collective yesterday. So if Wan'Dale Robinson's $21 million a season, but you've got a top running back on the market, number one graded running back in the NFL last season, in Kenneth Walker, who's supposed to make about 12 per season. And then you've also got Isaiah Likely. Let's just throw him out there. These names are just kind of examples, making $9 million a season. 2 for 1, or let's say Isaiah Likely might make around 7 or 8, and then Hollywood Brown makes about 7 to 8. And then you've got 10 to 12 for Kenneth Walker. Instead of $21 million per year on Wan'Dale, you can spend $25 million per year on Kenneth Walker, Hollywood Brown, and Isaiah Likely. I'll do that. I think Wan'Dale Robinson, you re-sign him, you still need a number 2 receiver, right? This past year going into the season with Wan'Dale, I mean, he played great, but you still feel like you need another boundary threat, right? You need a number 2. So my take on that is just that. I think I would rather get a WR1B or fill out the rest of the roster and not reinvest it all into Wan'Dale, who is a really good slot receiver. So, as we do this rebuild, I'm going to decline to sign Wan'Dale. I'm going to reject the F out of Deonte Banks' 5th-year option. I would rather pay him than sign Alec Pierce for sure, but I don't think that's the only option. I think this is a really deep receiver class. Daniel Cohen, a realistic trade for Fred Warner? Man, I feel like a first-round pick, right? Like, I don't know how he gets traded for anything less than a first-round pick. He's the best inside linebacker in football when he's healthy. I think realistically, Cordell Flatt's going to get $10 to $12 million a year. So I'm going to try and offer. I think I'm going to offer 11 per year for 4 years makes sense to me. Let's do that. Yeah, he didn't want that. No, I like Isaiah Likely. Rescue ops. I think Isaiah Likely is a good player. Honestly, I think all of these guys, other than where's Jermaine Illuminor, we'll try and sign him. Realistically, Illuminor is getting $20 million a year, guys. So let's go ahead and offer him that, which is going to be an overpay in the eyes of Madden, but it's going to be the market value in real life. So let's make this realistic if we can. Yeah, Riley, I actually would re-sign Dane Belton. I think Dane Belton is a perfect John Harbaugh guy. So I will do that. I will make him an offer. Yeah, Slayton post June 1st cut, I would absolutely do. Tyquan Thornton's a decent player. NATO, what's up, NATO? Good to see you, brother. You think we can get Jalen Waddle next week? I don't really believe that they're going to let Jalen Waddle go. The Dolphins. They cut Tyreek. They don't have much receiving talent. I don't think it happens. Air Force, yeah, I don't see why not. What's the harm in working out Odell? You know, is he an impact player at this point in his career? Probably not, but you work him out and you see, what's the harm? All right, so Bobby Okereke was already cut. Let's go ahead and do that. Supermed, I would like to bring back Micah McFadden. I'd be cool with that. I think I got to turn this light off, guys. It's so bright in my eyes. Can you see me still? You guys let me know if this looks okay. It's so bright. Now, here's the thing with Madden that really annoys me is I can't re-sign or extend John Runyon until he's about to be a free agent. Otherwise, I would extend him. That's my take. A lot of people talking about should the Giants cut John Runyon. I actually think they should extend him. He's 29 years old. You can extend him past his age 30 season. Let's say add 2 more years until he's 31. So then you open up $6.5 million in cap space this offseason. You push some of that money down the line, sure. But at the same time, Runyon's not a great player, but he's pretty hard to replace. He's at least an average guard, he's definitely a starting offensive lineman. And those are hard to find. You don't just cut those guys for the sake of replacing them. So I think it's really tough to replace a John Runyon, even though he is just about average, so to speak. It's hard to find average offensive linemen. I don't think the Giants should cut John Runyon this offseason. James Hudson is the easiest cut of all time. That's for damn sure. Yes, Mike, I can read your comment. Let me see. Yo, what's up, Anthony? The Seahawks and Shaheed aren't close to a deal and expect to hit the market. I think the Giants should sign him. I don't hate that idea. I think Rashid Shaheed is really good, but how much would he cost? If they're not close to a deal after he just won the Super Bowl with them, he's probably looking for a pretty good amount of money. All right, let's see. Who else are we cutting? I want to cut Graham Gano. Graham Gano pisses me off. And I want to cut Jamie Gillen too, probably. Oops. Let's go to Graham Gano. First round pick swap for Warner. What pick do the see, this is what I'm talking about in Madden. You don't even save anything by cutting Graham Gano, but in real life they'd save $4 or $5 million. Let's cut him anyway. What pick do the 49ers have? I forget where they're picking in the draft. 29? No, the Rams just traded 29 to the Chiefs, I thought. Yeah, we are going to trade Kayvon. Spoiler alert. Yeah, James Hudson had the worst drive that I've ever seen in NFL history. See, I don't know why Dart's not a star development trait, so I'm just going to cheat the system. We're going to make him a star. Oops. Because I don't, that doesn't make any sense to me. Is that where they're picking 27? I don't think I'm going all the way down to 27. 5 to 27? 23. Okay, so they're picking 23rd. That sounds right. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going all the way down to 23. I don't know about that. Let's just get all my least favorite players off this team. Let's get Jalen Hyatt off of this team. Trenton, good to see you, man. Apparently Bellinger's still on this team. Yeah, so Will, my prediction on Abdul's new number, I think he's going to go at 58. And so the reason why I think that, I actually have a logic behind this. So, oh, yeah, I do want to re-sign Bellinger. Hold on. So Micah McFadden, I'm not Micah McFadden, sorry, Abdul Carter last year really wanted to wear number 11 or 56. He wanted to wear a Legends number. It's something that they do at Penn State. They have legacy numbers. They give the numbers away, right? That's the idea. He really wanted to wear a legacy number. He didn't get to do that. Lawrence Taylor said, find your own number. Phil Simms' family said they would unretire it, but nevertheless, Phil Simms said he would. His family said no, so he didn't. Abdul Carter clearly wants to wear a Legends number. 58 is a legendary number. Carl Banks wore it. Bobby Okereke was just cut, and he was wearing 58. I think 58 makes a lot of sense as a Legends number that Abdul Carter can wear. So wear Carl Banks' number. Or if Kayvon gets traded, I could see him wearing 5. And then the alternative here, number 91, a Legends number in Justin Tuck. I could see that being his number as well. So 91, 5, or 58. Those are my 3 predictions. I've seen some people say 50. Is that available? I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's do free agency. Yeah, guys, I think the Giants have a good chance of signing Kenneth Walker, and I think they should. I like the idea of signing Kenneth Walker. This free agency pool is booty cheeks. Yikes. Well, there's Bobby O. You guys let me know who to sign. Madden ratings are so bad. Matt Milano is not that guy anymore. Thanks, Will. Trenton, I agree. I think that the division is wide open. Wyatt Teller is someone that we'll target. Also, guys, we have some really exciting interviews coming up on the channel. Among them, I think are interviewing Dan Duggan this weekend of The Athletic. He's a great insider. Has a lot of info. And there's a couple players that we're supposed to be interviewing next week. So keep an eye. All right, let's trade Kayvon Thibodeau. See what offers they give us. Junk, basically. Wyatt Teller, Pat Ricard. I'll sign both of those guys for sure. I agree with those. Should we do the rumored? Should we give it a try? I think we'll give it a try. Madden says, no chance. You're right. Darius Alexander is wearing 91. So I think 5 or 58. 5 is just a cool number, and I think he wants a single digit. If not, I think 58 makes sense for the reason I mentioned. Do I think Banks gets cut or traded? Do I think Dart switches from 6 to 2? I don't think Jaxson Dart's going to switch numbers. I think he's going to create a legacy with number 6. He already started to do that. And Banks, I think they might try and trade him, but he's also a decent kick returner, so I wouldn't be shocked if he's actually on this team next year as a backup cornerback and a kick returner. He's kind of got that same vibe that the Ravens cornerbacks usually have. All right, so guys, help me come up with a mock trade here for Kayvon. We got to get rid of him, and I have an idea here, though. Let's see what we can... No trades for Fred Warner. Walker, I do think would be awesome. I actually am in favor of the Giants signing Kenneth Walker. I know most fans aren't. Yeah, it looks like in Madden you have to trade an arm and a leg to get Fred Warner. What do you guys think? Mock trades for Kayvon Thibodeau? Yeah, Steven, he does seem like a Ravens cornerback. I think he would be, honestly, a good fit in the system. I just think he's cooked. I just don't think he's good. But if he's going to be good, I think this system could potentially get that out of him. Trade him to the Jets. Trade him for a wide receiver cornerback. Who's a good cornerback that you guys think could shake free this year? I'm wondering. Wow, J.C. Horn's an 89 in Madden now. Nobody wants Tibbs in this game. I can't get rid of him. I just can't get this guy off my team. What about from Marlon Humphrey? Any chance? Yeah, Steven RC. I think they would make that trade too. Denzel Ward. Can we do Denzel Ward? I think I'll probably just trade him for a third-round pick, to be honest. Well, let's trade him to, I don't know, the Chiefs or something. I could see him playing for the Chiefs. We'll go through and see which teams need an edge. He's listed as a left edge. Definitely not trading him to Dallas, that's for sure. Everybody drop your number one player that you want the Giants to sign this offseason. Yeah, guys, I can guarantee you he won't be wearing number 10. That's for sure. Is Trenton Simpson any good in real life? I feel like he's not. We're going to do this. All right, boom. I feel like I could see that happening. I feel like you could see him getting traded. Yeah, Cameron, I don't think we're going to sign Justin Tucker. Romeo Dobbs. Trenton Simpson's average. He's such an athletic freak, though, isn't he? Think anybody will take Slayton? We get this guy off our hands. Trey Hawkins, Giants legend. Does that say a third-round pick? That's the most unrealistic thing. That's not happening. Yeah, why not? Linderbaum's your number one. I don't think the Giants are going to sign Linderbaum, guys. You know, he's looking for $25 million per season. That is a lot of money for a center. What's up, Tony the GOAT? What are you hitting today, Tony? Listening to me at the gym? What are you hitting? Yeah, Darnell, Cincinnati does need an edge. And they're letting Trey Hendrickson walk. He's already said goodbye to them. This is the first signing I'm going to make. I'm going to try and bring in Leo Chenal at about 7 per. Charles, I know. I got a little unrealistic there. Can you blame me, though? I just wanted to get Slayton off the team. Wow, what the hell? 24 teams in the hunt for Chenal. What is this? Legs and abs, and then the treadmill. That's what I did yesterday. Legs and abs. No treadmill, though, but I did walk. Yeah, guys, appreciate it if you hit the like. No problem, Tony the GOAT. I like your username. Daniel Jones. Really interested in playing for the New York Giants, according to Madden. Makes a lot of sense. I would like to see the Giants sign Tyler Algier this offseason. I feel like he's a sleeper. He's a good player. We'll definitely sign Ricard. Isaiah Likely, that's an option. Joel Bitonio is also an option, and Tevin Jenkins. I really could see the Giants signing Tevin Jenkins and Wyatt Teller as guards from the Browns, who just were coached by our offensive line coach, Mike Bloomgren, this past season. I could totally see that. Too late to get T. Higgins? I think so. Darnell did a little chest and back today. Very nice. Today was my rest day. I'm back in it tomorrow. Connor McGovern. Should we sign him? You guys really want to upgrade at center that bad? I feel like John Michael Schmitz is okay, though. Like, he's good enough, right? I don't know. I think he's fine. I don't think he prevents you from signing a big-time name, but if you don't want to spend on a big-time name, I think he's fine. Restructuring these deals, these guys aren't going anywhere. I think he did wrestle in high school, didn't he, Linderbaum? See, I don't want to pay Wilkins $16 million per year, though. That's a lot of money for Christian Wilkins. He's not getting that in real life either. Let's go cornerback, though. Flott's out there. We could try and bring Flott back. I really like Chidobe Awuzie. I could honestly see the Giants signing Chidobe Awuzie. Did we overpay him? Apparently we did. Let me not do that. 12 per year for Awuzie sounds right. I think that makes sense. Yeah, we need a mic. Slim Pickens, though. Tony to go. You know what's funny about that? About having linemen do wrestling during the offseason? Kayvon Thibodeau actually does that. He does Taekwondo too, or something crazy. This past offseason, that's what he did. He was big on the wrestling so that he could finish plays and get more sacks. Then he blew out his shoulder, so didn't get more sacks. Tough scene. Oh, sparkling water. No, Jaxson, what do the Eagles want for A.J. Brown? What's the reported asking price? That guy's a Patriot if I've ever seen one. Well, New England Patriot. I don't know about his politics. No, he's a Patriot. He's definitely getting traded to Patriots. Quinnen Williams type deal? Yeah, okay. Okay. I read a report that the Jags aren't going to trade Brian Thomas Jr., but you know what? If they do, I think the Giants need to be interested, right? Like, you have to be. Yeah, I agree, Air Force. I feel like A.J. Brown is kind of like Terrell Owens in that way. T.O. was a monster, though. Hall of Famer, too. All right, so we got Chenal and Teller. Love that. But the bidding is quite intense for Chidobe. Yeah, he's a diva. For sure. Big time. Running out of cap space already. Am I low-key cooking, guys, in free agency right now? Tony to go. Yeah, I crashed out hard on that one. Trenton Brown. I like Devontae Smith, too. I hope you guys trade A.J. Brown away, though. I want him out of the division. But then again, you'll get a haul of picks for this overrated player, and you'll be able to load up on talent elsewhere, and everybody will say, how we did it again. How we did it again. Whatever. One second, guys. Let me text my girlfriend back. Could you imagine that, Daniel Cohen, if Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. were playing together again? Oh, that would be so sick. That would actually be so sick. I would love to see that happen. Do I bring back Dalvin Tomlinson? Like, low-key? Yeah, I would love Jonathan Allen next to Dex. Absolutely. We'll save the rest for after the draft. Me too, Jonathan. It's becoming our little inside joke. He's left the same comment yesterday on Collective. Jonathan Allen next to Dex would be sick. Yes, sir, Tony. Most people call me Tony. That's the funny part. But not on the channel. On the channel, I'm Anthony. Punter. I do need to sign a punter, don't I? Actually, let's cut the Scottish Hammer. Let's give him hammers in the back. Take him to the shed. I don't like Jamie Gillen. I think he's so inconsistent. Not a fan. Deontay Banks. Should we see if we can get some trade offers on Banks? I think that makes sense. Nothing too worthwhile there. I know, Darnell. That's crazy. Trent McDuffie would have been awesome for the Giants, man. That would have been so sweet. I don't hate the way this team looks, honestly. We do need a receiver, though. The Giants receiver core is so bad. People don't realize how bad it is outside of Malik. I mean, he carries so hard. Because that receiving core is trash. Assuming Wandale leaves, of course. Which I do think he will. Thornton. I think I'll do the draft and then sign more free agents afterwards. Dude watching the tube. Yeah, I think so. I think I would hold on to him as a depth piece if I were the Giants. I think it makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense, honestly. Yeah, Jake, I'm trying to be as realistic as I can. It's hard to be realistic when doing a Madden rebuild because the game is so unrealistic with the contracts and everything. But yeah, I'm trying my best to be realistic. Styles, Downs, or Tate, all three are really good. Yeah, it's kind of like close your eyes, throw a dart at the board, and hope that it lands on one of those three Ohio State guys, really. And people sleep on Carnell Tate. He's a really good football player. People are talking about him like he's not a WR1. He's not a difference maker. Yes, he is. That guy could totally be a WR1. I think what happens is people look at the stats and they don't see 1,000 receiving yards. And then they say, okay, well, there was a 17-year-old Jeremiah Smith who was getting all the targets as a WR1. Why wasn't Tate the WR1? And I think, people need to realize Jeremiah Smith is just that dude. That's what it is. He's just an absolute savage. So it's not Carnell Tate's fault. Carnell Tate was spectacular. And on any other collegiate program, he would be a number one receiver. And in the NFL, I think he can be. So That's a good point, Jake. I didn't even think of that. You know what? I'm going to extend John Runyon by doing that. You think that's a good idea? Change/edit the contracts, be more realistic. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, so then I could just go to that, right? Put him in his third year. I think that would work. Rescue ops. I'm really confused on how to feel about the Caleb Downs ACL thing because I think there's been conflicting reports, right? Some people said that he is completely fine and there's no medical concern with Caleb Downs. And then other people have said he's got a degenerative knee. So here's where I stand on it. We're not going to get that insider information. We're not going to know what the medicals look like for Caleb Downs, but the teams do. And if the New York Giants found out that he does have a degenerative knee, if their medical doctors and their report says he's got a degenerative knee, you have to lower him on your draft board. You got to put him down a couple notches. He can't be the 5th overall pick in the draft, in my opinion. If he doesn't have an issue with the knee, if he's clean, he's fine. Yeah, he could be the 5th overall pick in the draft. But I don't think that, when you're trying to set a tone of a new culture with a new head coach like John Harbaugh, you need to get a guy at that 5th overall pick who is rock solid and who is going to start for you for a long time. I don't think you can risk it on a guy with a knee injury. Like a degenerative knee means his career at maximum could wind up being 7 years. So, and obviously some players played through a degenerative knee. I think Munoz, the left tackle that played for the Bengals, had a degenerative knee. He played 12 years in the NFL. He's one of the best offensive linemen ever. Sure. Todd Gurley, though, had a very short career. So I don't know. I agree, though. I'm 100 always. I don't think it's true. I think some team put that fake report out there to get his stock to drop. I don't believe it. He's never been hurt. He's never missed a game. He's always been tough as nails. He doesn't move like somebody with knee problems. He has click and close. So I don't agree. I mean, I don't believe the report. I think it's a fake rumor that a team tried to pay somebody to put out there so that they could get his stock to drop. That's what I think. So Tate at 5 and Anthony Hill at 37 is totally a possibility. And in fact, I would be over the moon if that happened. I would love to see that happen. That'd be fantastic. A fantastic outcome for the Giants. Tate is awesome. And let me say, I've started going through and actually watching the film on these guys now and really diving in. Like I was familiar with them before, but I'm really starting to watch film and grade them and do my own prospect rankings. Sonny Styles is ahead of Carnell Tate for me. But I think Sonny Styles, there's a really good chance he goes 4th overall. People don't seem to make that connection because he originally had draft stock of maybe a top 10 pick. He was supposed to go 10 to 15, really. And then sometimes it was like his ceiling, the highest he could go was 5 to the Giants. Now I think the floor for him is 5 to the Giants. I think he could go 2 to the Jets. I think he could go 3 to the Cardinals. And I definitely think number 4, Robert Saleh, having all of the track record and history that he's had with linebackers like Fred Warner and everybody else, Robert Saleh with the Titans, I think he's going to fall in love with Sonny Styles, and I think he might take him at 4. So you got to keep an eye on that. Tehan, I see in the chat saying Kenny Phillips had a degenerative knee. I don't remember that. I didn't know that. That's good info. How long was Kenny Phillips' career? Didn't he had injuries, no? Let me actually do a little research on this. Kenny Phillips. Kenny Phillips was low-key a dog, wasn't he? 6'2", 4'4", 840-yard dash for Kenny Phillips. I didn't even know he was beast like that. I also like the Rodriguez kid from Texas Tech. It is a loaded linebacker market this offseason. Yeah, Kenny Phillips had a degenerative knee and he barely played. I mean, he played in all of his games as a rookie. only started 3. Second year, he missed basically the whole season. Third year, he started all his games. Fourth year, he started all his games. Fifth year, he started 7 games, and he was out of the NFL. And he played again 3 years later in New Orleans and then was done. So if you want to talk about a comparison of a guy with a degenerative knee who played the safety position, yeah, there's your comparison with Kenny Phillips, former Giant. So if Downs has a degenerative knee, I think you have to take him off the list at 5. I'm sorry. Tony DeGoat says that, Anthony, at first, I really didn't want the Giants to trade Thibodeau, but after listening to you, I would be down to trade him and sign Clowney. Me too, man. Let me see if I can get Clowney on here. That's a good call out on this Madden rebuild. Clowney's like always performing. He's so consistent. He's one of the best run defenders on the edge in all of football. People sleep on Jadeveon Clowney and how good he truly is. So, Jake, they have you do some contract re-signings, but I'm already past that. So we're in like the sign other free agents phase on this. Madden's weird. To me, it feels like a trade down is becoming more and more likely. If Styles is there, I don't see them making a pick at 5. I think if Styles is there, they're taking Styles. If Styles isn't there, that's when a trade down becomes a possibility, because I think that Tate is somebody you could potentially trade down to about 9 or 10, 8, 9, or 10. You could trade down 3 to 5 spots, and you could probably still get Carnell Tate, I think. I don't think he goes in the top 5 unless the Giants take him at 5, personally. Oh, okay, I see you. Nothing. You meant to say isn't. Yeah, if Styles isn't there, you don't see them making a pick at 5. I could agree with that. Private workouts. So since I already know who these guys are, I'll ask you guys, give me 3 sleepers in this year's draft class that you really like, and I'll put through the private workouts on them. This is one that I downloaded off of the Madden share, but give me 3 sleepers in this class that you like. Jeff Caldwell from Cincinnati. I haven't looked at him yet, but I will for sure. I'm going through all of the receivers this week, really. Spending a lot of time. Mike Washington. What position does Washington play? Ted Hurst is my guy. I love Ted Hurst. Where is this Jeff Caldwell? Did I pass him? Is him? All right, let me pick a few of these that you guys mentioned. I really like Malik Muhammad out of Texas. D'Angelo Pons is sick, Tyrell. I really like him. Let's go Julian Neal. Where's he? Also, this guy's name, Ephesians Prysock, how is he not going to be a star? He's got to be, right? Yeah, people really like Conception. I'll do Muhammad as well. I'll do both of those guys, and then we'll flip over to running back. Or actually, let's do that edge from Penn State. It'd be nice if it tells you on here what college, and I got to scroll through and find the college. Oh, there he is. Let's go with that. Yeah, Mansour Delane is fire. He is so cool. He's such a good player. Chase Basantis is a good name too. Yeah, I do agree with that, Dylan. Not enough people talk about Mansour Delane. He's like ridiculously gross. All right, let's put my draft board together. Sonny Styles for sure. Delane would be on my board at 5 for the Giants. Let's go to wide receiver. Let's pick my favorite guys. I do like Omar Cooper. You guys are kind of seeing the players in this draft class that are my guys here. You said Jeff Caldwell, right? What was the name? People sleep on Oscar Delp. I can't believe the way Monroe Freeling has shot up in mock drafts now after the combine. And people mention Ione, I think is his name. People talk about him like he's a generational talent. Where's the Iowa? Yeah, him. I like both of the Iowa. I like anybody from Iowa. I really like Blake Miller too. And I'm not even going to try to say his name, but I like him. Deep edge classes here. I like all of these top 5 defensive tackles in this class. They are sick. I don't know why they list Arvell Reese as a Mike. That brother is an edge. Tiedemann. I told you guys last week on the sleepers to watch at the combine to keep an eye on Tiedemann, and then he just went ballistic at the combine. Ahmad Hardy out of Missouri. I'll definitely check him out. I'll throw him on here if I can find them. I don't see him. Let's do the draft, guys. Let's do the draft. All right, you guys can vote on the pick. Who's off the board? Mendoza, Reese, Maui Noah, and David Bailey. That's actually wildly realistic. That's like very well how the first 4 picks of this draft could go. So you guys vote. Drop a 1 for Sonny Styles, drop a 2 for Caleb Downs, drop a 3 for Carnell Tate, drop a 4 for a trade down. A lot of 1s. Some are suggesting the trade down, but it's a runaway. It's going to be Sonny Styles. All right, we'll take Sonny Styles. I'll explore what the trade would have been, though. Let me take a look. I haven't watched Zachariah Branch yet. Nothing. Well, that I wouldn't take. That I wouldn't take. That I wouldn't take. That I certainly wouldn't take. These Madden trades are so funny, though, because they add all these junk picks to the back end of it. It's like, I don't want your 5th, 6th, and 7th, you know? That's not even giving me a future first. That's not a bad deal, though, low key. That's kind of realistic and not bad at all. Move down 8 spots and get a 2027 second. That's really not bad. These trades are so funny. It's like, let me give you 2 firsts, but not even 1 in this draft. Madden. Okay. Going Sonny Styles. Yeah, okay. We're going to edit the stats anyway. Oh, you know what we should have done? Let's put our boy Abdul in a new number. Oops, that's scat. Is number 4 retired for the Giants? I think it is, right? Old-timey player. You guys drop it below 58 or 5 for Abdul. I can put him in 5. 58's available, but 58 or 5. What do you guys want to see him wear? Or something else, drop it. I think he's going to wear 58, though. Nine would be interesting. So a lot of people mention that the Giants might not trade down in the first round, but maybe they'll trade down in the second round. So we'll do the vote again. We'll let you guys pick on whether or not we think we should trade down in the second. Dylan, Von Miller wore 58. Jordan Tyson fell to the second. I guess people are scared about his knee. Or maybe it's just Madden being stupid Madden. Okay. Fair enough, Dylan. Trade for Kenneth Walker. Yeah, I think he's going to be a Giant. I'm happy about it, too. I like Kenneth Walker. I think it would be a good signing. Get another superstar back. I don't see Tracy getting a second contract. Yeah, probably not. I think they're going to get a superstar back this offseason. Yeah, Madden's so unrealistic. These guys are not falling out of the first round. I mean, low-key Jordan Tyson maybe because of the injury, but I doubt it. I don't think either of these guys. So should we go realistic and take Omar Cooper? Or should we have some fun and take Jordan Tyson? What do you guys think? I'm going to be honest, though. Independent of Madden, in real life, Jordan Tyson scares me. The injuries are crazy. I honestly don't know if I would take him in the first round. Playboy Phil, I think K9 is a superstar, but he's not the top tier superstar. I think there's 2 tiers of running back superstars. I think that top tier is like Saquon, Bijan Robinson, and then that second tier has the Kenneth Walkers of the world in it. Oops, closed it. All right, so I'll let you guys pick. Do we go best of D tackle? Oh, Dante Corleone. Best D tackle. Do we go edge? Do we go offensive line? This isn't a bad pick here. Or do we take one of these wide receivers? I think we go wide receiver. I'll let you guys pick Jordan Tyson or Omar Cooper. So realistic or unrealistic, you pick it. Cooper. Caden McDonald might be available. Let's take a look. Shout out to the 560 live viewers right now. Appreciate everybody. All right, let's go Omar Cooper, as Tony the GOAT said, for Alex. And again, we'll adjust these ratings. They're inaccurate. No third-round picks, so Giants pick in the second round, and they don't pick again until the 4th. Long wait. Oh, but I traded Kayvon for a third. That's right. I forgot I did that. Great. Now I got a third-round pick. Maybe we take that edge, place Kayvon right there. I think that makes sense. Honestly, I'd probably go D-tackle, though. I go with Corleone. Giants need more D-tackle talent. But at the same time, round 3. Trade down? You guys want me to trade down? Ooh, that's not a bad offer. Get an extra 5th and a future 7th. I don't know. Nah, Derek, I'm not watching the Knicks game. I don't watch a lot of basketball. I follow along with the Knicks. I like the Knicks, but I don't really watch many of the games. Let's see what corners are available. Oh, D'Angelo Pons. I think I got to go with Pons, right? Yeah, bro, I'm going with D'Angelo Pons. Dennis Sutton. Oops, my bad. I didn't take Dennis Sutton. Oh, it's lagging. There we go. Sonny Corleone. I'm low-key cooking, Tyrell. Yeah, do we double dip at corner? Oh, Malik Muhammad's a good player. We could take a running back. We could take that absolute burner out of Arkansas. I might do that. The Giants didn't get Kenneth Walker in free agency in this, but we know that they want a running back, so shoot. I'm going to go with Mike Washington, guys. Just a big, fast beast. Oh, you guys can see my cursor. That's crazy. I didn't know you could see that. Yeah, we do need O-line help. Well, we signed Wyatt Teller, so that helps. What I really like to do in Madden is you can sign free agents after the draft for a real discount. Get them real cheap. Grayson Halton's not going on day 3. Grayson Halton's going a lot sooner than day 3. But if he falls, always good to draft lineman for sure. Let's finish up this draft. Probably make one more pick and then just sim the rest. Pick up my boy Ted Hurst. You guys know I like Ted Hurst. You're right, don't need to go. I'm listening to. All right, we're going to sim the rest of the draft. Let's go to draft recap, and we're gonna juice the stats because they come in so low on this. I don't know why they're all so low, and this looks nothing like Sonny Styles at all. .90 speed though. Okay. Boost the stats a little bit. His pursuit is insane. Looks nothing like Sonny Styles. Sonny Childs, yeah. Omar Cooper plays like a running back, man. He's sick. 87 for Omar Cooper. That'd be tough. Not gonna lie. And that actually does look like Omar Cooper. That's what's so funny. I like Dallas Goedert. I think Dallas Goedert is a strong option for the Giants if they want to bring a veteran tight end in. For sure. Yeah, he would, Dylan. Jonnu Smith just got cut, right? I would sign Jonnu Smith if the price is right. He's going to be too expensive, though, I think. He's a good player. He's low-key washed. I'd rather put that money on, like, Leo Chenal or something. Some new report saying the Giants are seriously in the mix for Tyler Linderbaum, according to Jordan Rannon. That's interesting. I mean, why is the awareness so low on these guys? Who made this? Why is the tackling so low on this guy? He's like a really good tackler. Am I tripping? Am I thinking of the wrong guy? Njoku? Njoku would be cool. Now we gotta up. We gotta make Sonny Styles like an 82 overall. I don't think they're gonna go after Alec Pierce, and guys, I don't really want them to. Last year, I liked Alec Pierce as a trade option. I thought he made a lot of sense in that regard. Yeah, that's why I'm putting the awareness up to raise the overall right now. But Alec Pierce, if you look at his statistical profile, it's kind of insane. I mean, with him having the yards per reception that he does, it's to me is like very clearly not sustainable. He's got about a couple of years before speed starts to wear off and he's no longer able to do what he does. And then you're overpaying for a guy who you signed to do one thing and he can't do that thing anymore. So that's just kind of how I feel about Alec Pierce. I think he's really good, but his playing style is just not going to be sustainable on the next contract that he signs personally. Yeah, 57 awareness. What is going on? No problem, Tony to go. Appreciate you joining me. Have fun with the Huzz. OBJ ahead of Slayton in depth. I wonder if we can sign OBJ. I just got to move it a week. What about Dobbs? I think Dobbs is an option, but he's going to get paid like $15 million per year, I think. Jeremiah Love. I think Dobbs is going to get 15 a year. I don't think the Giants are going to spend on a wide receiver. I think if they are going to spend on a wide receiver, it's going to be Wan'Dale, but they don't want to go up to Wan'Dale's price tag, so I don't think they're going to sign any wide receiver on a big time contract. I think they'll draft one. I think they're going to draft a receiver at some point. I don't know when, though. See if we can add some depth. Not much out there. Yeah, I got to watch some Malachi Fields. He's actually almost up next on my list. I'm going through all of the wide receivers right now. I watched Denzel Boston earlier today. He's pretty good. I do like Denzel Boston. I thought at times, though, it's weird for a guy that size, Denzel Boston out of Washington. If you guys aren't familiar, he's 6'4". He's really built like a big 6'4" strong dude too. He doesn't get off press coverage very well. His release package is not that good. You would think a guy that size will be able to get off press, but I thought that was interesting that was like the biggest flaw that I saw for him in his game was his lack of ability to get off press when he's that size. But that size shows up elsewhere, and also he's really nice after the catch, and he can return punts exceptionally well. So Denzel Boston's kind of sick. Don't sleep on him. And then, yeah, I think Washington receivers do well in the NFL. So, although Rome Odunze's, would you guys say that Rome Odunze is a bust so far? Maybe, maybe not. Hilarious trade offers. So draws, I think the big problem, if you're saying ruining football and QB play being so bad compared to prior years, the issue with quarterback play is the lack of collegiate teams that run an under center offense. The lack of an ability for quarterbacks to play under center is what is absolutely tanking their development. I actually watched a Brett Coleman video on this. You guys should check it out. It really broke it down, and it's really eye-opening. But it's not about the passing game. It's not about passing out of the under center looks. It's actually about the running game. You need to be able to run the ball to throw the ball, but you can't run the ball effectively if you don't run from under center. And if you don't have a quarterback who can be under center, you can't run out of the shotgun, and it kills your offense, and it allows teams to play dime defense against you all game long, and then you can't throw the ball. So, case in point, the quarterback development problem comes from college, and it comes from the lack of under center offenses. Yeah, I mean, it really has become about athleticism over IQ, but there are players who are entering the NFL with a ton of IQ, like Sonny Styles. You've got, of course, Caleb Downs. Those guys have major IQ, and it's why they're being looked at as such valuable draft picks, is because they do have IQ in a day and age where IQ is a premium. Lokia Buns receiving core. Appreciate you, Air Force. Yeah, guys, if you're enjoying, definitely smash the like. Derek with a great question. Any chance we draft a kicker late in the draft? Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. What was that? Oh, it was Eddie Pinheiro. I like that kid Smack out of Florida. Go Gators. Did that say Justin Tucker? Am I tripping, or did the Madden have Justin Tucker on my screen just a second ago? Madden, bro. All right, let's play. Against the Colts and Daniel Jones is so funny. Kicking off the season against Daniel Jones. Yeah, I would like Christian Wilkins a lot. Dylan, you're right. You're 100% right. I see, people fall in love with some of these quarterback prospects or some of these quarterbacks like Malik Willis. Malik Willis has 2 games on his film. That's why he looks like such a star. He's only played 2 games. It happens a lot. Quarterbacks step in, they have a small sample size of games that they play, and they look really good in that small sample size. That doesn't mean that they're going to extrapolate that sample size across 17 games. We saw Tommy DeVito step in first couple games of his career. He looked really good. We see all the time. We see quarterbacks step in, play 2 games, play well in those 2 games, and raise their valuation. But Malik Willis is just the latest example of that. Go Scat. I think Malik Willis, somebody handing him 20 million, 30 million, whatever he's about to get paid. It's a lottery ticket, sure. Maybe he ends up being a really good player. I wouldn't bank on it, though. Yeah, Anthony Richardson got drafted 3rd because he's a freak athlete. Justin Fields last year got paid by the Steelers or by the Jets because he played 4 good games with the Steelers. It was a small sample size. Now, I won't lie. I got duped by the sample size, too. I thought he would have been a decent signing for the Giants, but, I don't get paid millions of dollars to make those decisions, do I? So Neighbors is still not healthy in this Madden. That's a serious problem, though. If the Giants, if Malik Neighbors won't be healthy for the start of the season, the Giants are going to need to bring in a legit receiver because, for example, what I'm rolling with right here, Omar Cooper Jr., Diami Brown, the Giants cannot do that to Jaxson Dart next season. So, if they have an inclination that Neighbors won't be ready for week 1, well, then they better spend big at wide receiver and they better go get somebody because year 2 of a quarterback's development is so important. So they better make sure they've got somebody who can actually be a receiving threat for the Giants next year. Or you spend big at running back, and I think that's what they're planning on doing. I see all the rumors about Kenneth Walker, and I see a lot of people confused about it. And it's like, well, okay, your number 1 receiver is coming off of a devastating injury. Your number 1 running back, Malik Willis, speak of the devil, your number 1 running back is coming off of a devastating injury. So who's the playmaker, the elite playmaker that can take pressure off of the shoulders of your second-year quarterback? Who can help your second-year quarterback develop? I don't know. So, and you're not going to spend $20 million a year on Wandale. You're not going to spend $20 million a year on Alec Pierce. You're not going to trade a first-round pick for a disgruntled wide receiver. What are you going to do? You're going to sign the best running back on the market, that being Kenneth Walker, I think. So I think when you look at it from that perspective of needing to get some talent on offense for Jaxson Dart, don't look at it as a running back. Don't look at it as positional value. You shouldn't sign a running back to a big deal. Look at it as a playmaker. You need a weapon. Jaxson Dart needs a playmaker, and he needs a weapon, especially because of all the injuries that this team has with Scatterbill and Neighbors. So you got to get him a weapon. Also, Jonathan Taylor's cooking me. Would you rather have Walker or ETN? Also, if we sign an RB, how do the reps break down? I would rather Walker. Personally, I would go Kenneth Walker. Oh my God, I'm getting cooked right now, guys. I would rather Walker than ETN, but how would the reps break down? I think Walker takes the bulk of the carries, of course, but I still think Scatterbo and Tracy get theirs. I still think they play a good amount. Yeah, Dylan, Slayton is a player who does get open, but he's not dynamic. He's not a WR2. And that's the problem, is that he's getting paid like he's a WR2, but he's not. Trading back isn't a bad idea. If you can trade back to pick 10 and land Carnell Tate there, it's not a bad idea by any means. How about that goal line stand, though? How about that goal line stand, though? You guys really want them to trade for Jalen Waddle. What are you willing to give up for Jalen Waddle, though? Because I see Elon Locklear says give Miami whatever they want, but what is whatever they want? You giving them a 5th overall pick? I'm not. I would give them the 2nd round pick, though. But probably not. I don't think I would. I don't think I would trade the 2nd round pick. Let me pause this real quick. Get to the super chat. David, appreciate you so much, saying, could you see them shocking us and post June 1st cutting Adebo or Slayton? Slayton, yes. Adebo, probably not. They're really thin at cornerback, and I think, you know, the report of them trying to trade for Trent McDuffie today indicates that they're not going to do any tearing down of that cornerback room. They're going to try and build it up. So I think they're going to try their best to add extra talent to that room. I don't think they're going to get rid of the guys that they have. Plus, Adebo's young, and Adebo, I think, is one of those players who's primed to bounce back for the Giants this year, especially with the new system. I think he fits in that system quite well. So, but yeah, I could totally see Slayton. Appreciate the super chat. Thanks so much, David. Walker's overhyped. He's not top 7, damn near not top 10. I don't know. I mean, he forced 77 missed tackles this past season. He's kind of gross. Yeah, Dylan. Unfortunately, last year they were really desperate for a wide receiver. The market was just terrible for wide receivers last year, and so they went ahead and they overpaid Slayton. They shouldn't have, though. To be fair, though, they didn't. At the time, that was market value. They didn't technically overpay him. They just shouldn't have paid him at all, is the argument. Good throw, Dart. It could be D. Maybe they're trying to get somebody to draft Jeremiah Love in the top 4. Sonny Styles drops in their lap at 5. That's possible, but I think the way that they're looking at it is Scadaboo was seriously hurt. Tracy's seriously hurt. This offense has no weapons. If you want to add a receiving weapon, you have to pay an extreme premium for a wide receiver. Meanwhile, you can add a legit starting weapon of a running back for half of the price of a wide receiver. And I think they're going to do it. You can get a star running back in the NFL nowadays for $10 to $12 million. It's insane. You know, the NFL overcorrected. The whole positional value thing, hashtag running backs don't matter, all those nerds online said that stuff, and the NFL bought into it. And to some extent, there is truth to it. Running backs, it's a devalued position for a reason. But at the same time, now you have superstar running backs hitting the open market over a couple $1 million difference between 10 to 12, right? The Seahawks don't want to pay him 12, but they'll pay him 10. Okay, so somebody else will pay him 12, and they'll get the best running back on the market for an absolute bargain when you compare it to the price that you would have to pay for a receiver, top receiver on the market. It's the only position in football, running back is the only position in football where you can sign the top player on the market for less than $20 million. It's the only position. Top quarterback on the market gets at least 30. Top center on the market now, Tyler Linderbaum gets 25. A tackle, who's not the top player on the market, gets 20. Cornerback, top player on the market, gets 30 now. Trent McDuffie signing a $30+ million deal. Linebacker, I think Devin Lloyd's probably going to get $20 million. Safety, who's the highest paid safety? I don't know. I just think it's a bargain. If you don't look at it as a running back and you don't look at the value across the rest of the league, and also think of this past season, the Seahawks do not win that Super Bowl. They don't even go to the Super Bowl if they do not have Kenneth Walker on that team, right? And the year prior, the Philadelphia Eagles don't go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl without their running back in Saquon Barkley. So it's actually overnight went from the least valuable position in the sport to arguably a top 5 most valuable position. But the contract isn't matching up with that. The contract still is valuing them as one of the least valuable players on the field. So, oh man. So you can get a very valuable player for a devalued price right now in the running back position. So Spider Burns. And nothing with a really good comment there. I'm actually going to even pull that one up before I get to the super chat, David. Thank you. But nothing says, I think there's more value in the fact that Kenneth Walker is going to play with Scat, not just be a bell cow 100%. And if you look at Kenneth Walker's career history, he's never actually been a pure bell cow. He's always played in tandem with another running back. So people are like, oh, if you sign Kenneth Walker, what's going to happen with Scat? Well, what happened with Charbonnet? Charbonnet had a very effective season this past year, playing in tandem with Kenneth Walker before, of course, Charbonnet got hurt. Scatterboot's going to play. He's going to play a lot. And Kenneth Walker is used to having his snaps limited so that they could get the other running back on the field. So I think that's a great point. David, thank you so much for the super chat. Really do appreciate the generosity. Saying, if you want some fun, Anthony, do the stick to the model on a live. I'd love to see it. Lets you do everything. Lets you be the GM for any team. Yeah, so I've seen that, the stick to the model, and I am planning on doing that on live on the channel. Alex and I discussed that. I want to do a live stream where we just go through and run an entire simulation. So definitely stay tuned. Obviously, free agency at the start of next week, so we're going to have to do it over the weekend. But I'm going to try my best to do it. I'm going to try and squeeze that in this weekend. That'll be really fun. Also, guys, you let me know if you like these more casual live streams. If you like them, I'll do more of them. I always go with the feedback that you guys give me. But if you like me sitting here answering your questions, just talking ball and playing Madden, I'll do it more. You let me know. And let me know what time is best. Because I don't know, 6 o'clock, I was like, all right, a lot of people get off work, having dinner, maybe watch their phone. But if you think I should do it later, like 9 or 10 o'clock, or if you think I should do it earlier, you guys let me know. But just give me feedback. Helps me out. New York Teams Forever says they need to double dip like the Eagles did with cornerback, but with linebacker. I agree. They cut Okereke, and McFadden is a free agent, so they don't have a single starting linebacker on the roster. They have Darius Masua. Not good. Darius Masua can't be your starting linebacker. So if I were them, straight up, I would go ahead and sign Leo Chenal or Nakobe Dean or trade for Tremaine Edmonds and draft Sonny Styles at 5 overall. If he's not there, I draft Anthony Hill Jr. if he's there at 37. So, yeah, agreed. Yeah, nothing with a good point. Top running backs are being valued again for sure. D No Op says Tracy at receiver. I said that on Giants Collective last night, so I totally agree with you. I think that the Giants should make Tracy more of a gadget player where, yeah, he's a running back, but he's a running back who lines up in the slot. He's a running back who catches these swings and these screens out of the backfield and, uses his receiving capabilities and makes plays after the catch. That's what I think the Giants should do with Tyrone Tracy Jr. Because then you can get him, Walker, and Scat all on the field and give them all reps, One of them has to be more of the receiving back, and that can be. And, this isn't a foreign concept. The Giants had this with Brandon Jacobs, Ahmad Bradshaw, and DJ Ware. So Yeah, Tracy plays in the slot. He doesn't have to be your full-time slot receiver, but he can work in there. Tracy can play in the slot. I think you can sell Tracy on that too. You can tell him like, hey, listen, receivers get paid so much more than running backs. You're a good running back, but if you can prove to be a good receiver, your next contract is going to be worth a lot more. I think you move him around, you play him in the slot and the backfield as a gadget. You have Kenneth Walker be your lead back, and then you have Scatterby be your power and short yardage back. Boom. There you go. Dylan, you're not wrong. Scat is a sick route runner. That was one of the reasons why I wanted them to draft him so badly. For those of you who were here last year when we were doing our pre-draft stuff, I thought Scatterby was such a good route runner coming out of Arizona State, and I thought that he could just be nasty on a Texas route, that kind of thing, you know? Oh, God, it's a pick. Was that a one-handed no-look pick? What was that? Okay. I swear this guy just Odell'd me. It was a bad throw. He was open, though. I held down the button too long. What in the world? This is like the greatest interception of all time. This is the greatest pick of all time. Okay. Sure. Oh, almost got a pick back. Free agencies where C grade players get B grade players money and B get A. 100%. That's why you sign your homegrown talents. That's the argument that I made for signing Xavier McKinney. Nick says, crazy you bring up Tracy going to wide receiver, Spotify podcast about Kenneth Walker. I said exactly what you said about the gadget. I don't know about the Spotify podcast thing, but you said Kenneth Walker could play the gadget role? Just clarify for me. Or are you saying that about Tracy? Because I said that about Tracy last night on a Giants Collective. But yeah, I mean, if that's what you think too, if Tracy could be the gadget, great minds think alike. And, you know, I think that's the right move for Tracy. He can be really versatile if you want him to be. The Giants just don't use him that way. I don't know why. If we draft Nouns, where would Newbin play? I think Newbin plays Dane Belton's role, backup who has to really make a living on special teams. Sorry. Well, see, that's the thing is he's a better box safety than he is a deep safety because his run angles, his tackling angles from the deep safety spot are so bad, but he actually is strong enough to play in the box. He makes some pretty sick plays in the box. His angles from deep are so bad. How did he not catch that? Okay. Dylan, I don't think people quite understand how attentive to detail Scat is because of his personality, but dude is locked in the small details no matter what. You're 100% right. That guy lives and breathes football. That's it. It's all he cares about. He just loves football. What's the story with Hyatt? He's as good as gone. Would rather have Hodgins over Hyatt. Me too. Okay, so it's one thing to be bad. It's another thing to have such bad plays that cost your team the game. Those are the kind of plays that Hyatt has. He costs his team the game. I don't think Hodgins has ever done that for the Giants. Oh, okay. I got you, Nick. I understand now. Yeah. No, I agree with you. Smart mind. Great minds think alike. I agree with you, man. Tracy has that. Yeah, I think it's the best move. You want to add another running back and still get so much out of Tracy putting him as a gadget. I agree. And he can be a really good gadget player. Because he is a good player. He's a good running back. He averaged 4 yards per carry. I agree, Draws. They got to drop Jalen Hyatt. They could save $1.5 million in cap space. It's not a lot. It's better than just carrying the dead weight of Jalen Hyatt on the roster, in my opinion. Yeah, I think he's been playing out of position. Nothing for Tyler Nubin. They've been playing him deep, but he's a box. They got to play him as a box. Problem is, if you do draft downs, that's your box safety. That guy is unbelievable against the run. Oh my God, I did not see that guy. I'm curious to see what Javon Holland looks like this year, though. I really would have liked them to get Anthony Weaver as the DC because of that familiarity with Holland and for many other reasons. But I'm happy about Denard Wilson. I think Denard Wilson's, a good coach. No, I actually would not get rid of John Runyon. I would extend John Runyon. I know why people say, cut John Runyon. $9 million is a lot in cap space. I don't know how you're getting a starting guard in this building, though, if you cut John Runyon. They're hard to find. And he's not a great player, but he's at least average. He's good. He's a starter. And so I don't think you can cut a starting offensive lineman and replace him so easily. So I would actually extend John Runyon. If you extend him, that's how you can save that money. I know people want to save what the hell? I hate this game. People want to save the $9 million by cutting him. You could save $6.5 million by extending him. And he's your starter. He's been your starter. You get 2 more years of him starting if you extend him. I would extend him. What free agent would you go after? Yeah, at guard, I really don't. Isaac Samalo is the best one, but you look at PFF and they're like, oh, he can get a 1-year, $8 million deal. That means he's going to get like $16 million. That's how the free agency guard market goes, and that's kind of my issue with cutting Runyon. Yeah, I don't like Mekhi Becton at all. I never did. I didn't like him as a tackle coming out of college. I thought he was going to be Eric Flowers 2.0. I said that on the channel. I was way back when it was the early stages of the channel. I don't like Mekhi Becton. He had 1 good year with the Eagles. He's never going to replicate that, in my opinion. He was so bad this past season with the Chargers. I watch a lot of Chargers games. He was so bad with the Chargers. I'm sure you guys can hear the controller is vibrating like crazy. Wow, what a play there. So they didn't cut Wyatt Teller, but Wyatt Teller is a free agent, and he made it clear that he's not planning on re-signing with the Browns. So he is leaving, and he is a right guard, so not a left guard. And I actually think the Giants are going to sign Wyatt Teller. Oh, my God, I thought I picked that. I think the Giants are going to sign Wyatt Teller. In fact, I have a reason to believe that they are going to sign Wyatt Teller. But outside of that reason, there's another reason, which is that Mike Bloomgren, the Giants' new offensive line coach, he was with the Browns last year, and he just coached Wyatt Teller. And so there's that connection. But yeah, I expect Wyatt Teller to be a Giant. Keep an eye on that. I do think it's hard to judge the DBs. Banks is different. You're right, nothing, because Banks just didn't try. So you can see that on the film and you can judge that. The fact that he didn't try is obvious. But yeah, Debo was signed to play in a press heavy system. He didn't do that. Holland was not playing a role that he looked comfortable in, so it is hard to judge them. Would it be dumb of the Giants to cut Slayton? He's been a season seesaw player. It's good for Dart to have that as one of. Well, listen, I think he's a good culture guy. He's a captain. And if you're not playing him in a prominent role, I think he's fine. He just drops too many clutch passes. And I think his confidence got really shaken, got really shook last year. I don't hate the idea of keeping Slayton on the roster, but I don't want the Giants to treat him like a starting number 2 receiver. I want them to go out there and try and upgrade over him for sure. Oh, that was a dot. You got to catch that. Steven, Giants will be priced out for Linderbaum. Should they sign Tyler Biadasz or Lloyd Cushenberry? What would a trade package look like for Jenkins? Oh, I don't know what it would look like for Jenkins. I imagine it probably would be a day 3 pick, right? What these veterans usually go for day 3 picks. I imagine he'd probably be like a 4th. I wouldn't hate that. But I think they're either going Linderbaum or they're keeping Schmitz. Like, I don't think they feel like it's necessary to upgrade over Schmitz. I just think they feel like Linderbaum is an elite talent. So if they can get an elite talent, they'll take it. But if not, I think they feel fine with Linderbaum. So, and Schmitz has gotten a lot better every year. You know, compared to where he was as a rookie, he's a much better player now. So, got a super chat from 8 Ball. Appreciate you, my friend, saying, I think if the plan is running back, you draft one versus paying free agency dollars. Thank you so much for the super chat. And what I'll say is, I think you can draft one, but not in the first round because it's not. It's about the paying the premium. Okay, so if you pay the free agency dollars, you're paying 10, 12 million for a running back. If you draft one at number 5, you're paying 8, 9 million for a running back, right? It doesn't the 5th overall pick make like $8 million? So you're already paying the premium. So now it's not good value to draft one because you could have just signed an established one who's proven and doesn't have a chance of being a draft bust for about the same money, so just a little bit more, so you get the proven commodity. So you can make that argument. And then also with the 5th overall pick, let's say you draft Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles has potential to be the best linebacker in the NFL, arguably, right? Like he could be a top 5 guy at his position. Okay, so he could make $30 million. So you could get a guy worth that price of $30 million on a contract that's paying him $8 to $9 million. Or even if you get Carnell Tate and he plays like a WR2, let's say WR2. Look at what Wan'Dale Robinson's making. 21 million a year probably is what he's going to get. If you draft Carnell Tate 5th overall, you're getting value because of the value isn't there to draft a running back though, because of the contracts. So I get it. But personally, I would sign the proven veteran like Kenneth Walker, and I would draft at one of those positions where if you wanted the top of the market player at linebacker, you're paying a lot more than the top of the market player at running back. And that's why drafting one on a cost-controlled rookie contract is so valuable. Linebacker, cornerback, tackle, of course, even safety so any of those. So that's kind of my thought process behind it. That's why I would go Kenneth Walker plus BPA at 5. But 8 Ball, really do appreciate the super chat. Thank you for the generosity. Edmonds and Styles would be amazing. I agree. I would love to have those two. I think that'd be sick. Pair them up. Oh my god, I missed the kick. Oh my god. My finger slipped. I do like how Harbaugh is coming in and not trying to clean roster, but getting guys who love football. Also, he's doing what the Giants should have done or been working at for the past couple years now. I agree with half what you said, but he is going to clean the roster. I think the Giants are going to cut a bunch of people in the next week. I think they're going to make a lot of roster moves. This roster is going to get cleaned. Yeah, right. Oh, who is Olubi? I don't know, but Olubi with the clutch game sealing potentially interception. Go Olubi. Knowing that the team inevitably has to pay Malik Neighbors as one of the highest paid wide receivers in the NFL, not a bad idea to have control of another wide receiver for 4 years. Yeah, wide receiver or somebody else. Yeah, definitely. For sure. Neighbors is going to get paid an ungodly amount of money in a couple of years, so got to keep that in mind. Yeah, corner, tackle, right? Like if you want to take an offensive tackle at 5, think about how much an offensive tackle gets paid. So let's say that you draft a tackle at 5, and with the 5th overall pick, you're expecting to get an elite player. Let's say you do get an elite offensive tackle at 5. So what is an elite offensive tackle worth? An elite offensive tackle is worth $30 million a year, and now you're paying him a rookie contract salary. That's amazing value. Let's say you get an elite running back with the 5th overall pick. Okay, you're paying him $8 million a year. What would you get? What would you pay an elite running back on the free agency market? $10 million a year. So it's not the value of some of these other positions like tackle, receiver, corner, and even inside linebacker now. So would I take a flyer on Ayuk, or is he done in the league? I think he's done. I think character concerns. Oh, Theo Johnson with a drop in the clutch. Where have I seen that before? All right, let's try this field goal again. I see what you're saying, Slayton. Slayton does have great games, but I'm not saying he's awful. Just think we overpaid for someone who hasn't had a career to back up that money. Yeah. The market was thin. They overpaid. They had their back against the wall. Oh, the backside dig got me. Michael Pittman. Yeah, I agree, 8-Ball. I think that they should draft Smack out of UF. They should make him their next kicker. He's pretty good. That I agree with, Nick. I think that Slayton's a good WR3. Somebody drop a movie recommendation for me in the chat. Something that I can maybe watch tonight. Shane wanted Slayton as WR2. I think Shane wanted an upgraded WR2, looked at the market, found out that there was no upgrade available. So then he decided, you know what? Let's stick with what's good enough. We don't need to upgrade. Let's just make sure that we get our own guy and retain our homegrown talent. And then they overpaid him. I think that's what happened. Oh my God, Malik Willis is so fast. Chat, am I cooked? I think Luminor is above average. I think you got to pay him. I think that's one of the players you're fine overpaying. What the hell just happened? Why did he warp off of him? Guys, I choked. I think they should re-sign Illuminor for sure. If you don't re-sign Illuminor, what are you doing at offensive tackle? I don't know. But then it's almost like you have to take a tackle with the 5th overall pick, and you don't want to be in a position to do that. Downs injury is not concerning. I hope not. I mean, regardless of whether or not we draft him, he's exciting, and I want to see him. I want to see him ball out. I do think a 3-4 system is better for Dex because it allows him to play that nose tackle position for sure. Oh, choked. Tough scene. Giants tried to trade for Trent McDuffie and the Rams outbid them. Yeah, I talked about that at the beginning of the show. Pretty insane. I mean, the Giant... Oh my God. Pick up the ball. There's no way. Wow. Do you guys see the way that Madden just teases me? That was crazy. I think we'll sign Wilkins. I think we could totally sign Wilkins. He's going to be cheap, man. He didn't play a snap last year. And he's got all those character concerns now, and I think the Giants are going to sign Wilkins for cheap. And I think they are going to make a big splashy move at cornerback as well. Guys, now you see why I'm not a Madden YouTuber. That was an abysmal loss there. Cooked myself with that one. But that was fun. And that is where we're going to begin to wrap things up here. Wow, I didn't realize how the colors are crazy. It was a very accurate Giants game. Did you guys enjoy watching the game? I don't know. You let me know. You guys let me know. My eyes are cooked. I've been staring at screens all day, though. So I am about to end the stream here, guys. I do appreciate everybody who tuned in. Over 680 of you. A lot of you coming from Twitter to tune in. So I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed the more conversational, just kind of, chill style of live streaming. If you want me to do more of this, just let me know, and I will. Definitely leave the feedback down below. It helps me out tremendously. So appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the questions and the conversation. It was a lot of fun. I'll do more Giants rebuilds. I see you guys asking for it. I'll do more just general Madden. And I want to do that other rebuild, that model online. I forget what it's called. Stick to the model is what it's called. So I'm going to do that too. So guys, definitely a lot of great content on the horizon. Interview with Dan Duggan, I think, is going to be tomorrow. So keep an eye on that. And just stay tuned to the channel for endless content, especially with free agency rolling around. I'm super excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. So leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell. All that fun stuff. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one. And let's go New York Giants.